Hello and good morning. So okay, been pretty friggin' excited about this one because for a few days, for a few days now, I've been thinking about how to put this together for a couple of months now. I've gotten requests for it, but for a lot of them, I wasn't like, I don't know, positive on how to really slap it all together. So at any rate, this is the Metal Gear team. So the 5 most well-known ones, anyway. Just in general, I tried to go for a mix of getting the look right and getting the weapons right. They're all actually... these recently got, I would say, inspired more or less because of a thing that Cal was working on AI-wise. And I think is actually something that Azor was working on and trying to give me a friggin' hint about for a few months now, which was that, the AIs sometimes function a bit better when they're completely retarded. Now, what I took that to mean is, okay, you know, you don't give them AI chips, you don't do any of that, and then they'll function better. Well, it turns out if you take off their attack and defense, they sometimes become better at doing certain things. So, for example, the Rex here figured out how to use that giant cannon on his back. He's like, if I don't think about it, I can just sit here and shoot this thing. This is a good idea. So, any dang ways, that is, roughly speaking, the idea behind these. So these recently were, like I said, something that got made a little bit more possible, courtesy of that, because they're all basically running that AI, more or less. They're set up to walk more than anything else. Some of them have been given the ability to move around a little bit more. Some, you know, like let's say the Ray and the Shagohod have a tendency to move around more. The Peace Walker jumps around more, that sort of thing. But going down the list here, so starting with the Rex, we've got the LX cannon for the railgun on the back. The sides are switched, but you know what? It looked a lot better with this than anything else. Like, I tried putting an actual railgun on the disc radar, and it just looked dorky. So, I ended up just going with the LX cannon in the end. I think it looks more fitting. I got missile extensions, missile arms, scatter mines, and the machine gun core on this one. Sounds about right for the original PS1 Metal Gear there, which is far from the original, but the original that people actually remember. Then we have the Ray from MGS2. So this is one of those ones that it's like you kind of got to squint and you'll see it kind of thing. But yeah, it's basically the machine gun arms got replaced with the orbit arms, which basically use the same yellow projectile anyway, and I figure, you know what? MGS2, they were all like in a circle shooting at you anyway, so I think it works. Got different kind of missiles on the back, and then the water cannon is being played by the Orca core today. Figure it was about as close as we're gonna get, because I'm certainly not gonna slap a Selene on that thing. It would look stupid. Next we have the Shagohod, aka ye old Soviet mech. So that one's the closest thing to the drill arms, not to mention the thing had machine gun arms anyway. So machine gun arms, tank legs, armor on the sides because it is a giant tank thing, different types of missiles as well as the sort of nuke thing, large missiles playing the part of the nuke today, and the kind of extended core guns got, basically they're being represented by the mid-core EOs, which, you know, they're not exactly the same thing, but it seems like the AI got swapped on this thing and this thing, so for whatever reason the mid-core uses machine gun range and the machine gun uses rifle range. Who knows? Any dang ways. That one's that, and then next we have the Peace Walker. This one is a little weirder. Okay, visually speaking, the legs look right. The arms don't. The core sorta does, like, minus the spike, really. And then the head is basically a cubic version of the actual one that's used in Peace Walker. Because in that thing, it's like a big ball thing with a red eye, and I figured that red eye was visually what stuck out the most. Weapon-wise, most of them got on there. So we got the nuke launcher on the back. We got the rockets, which got moved over to the arm. Flamethrower. We have the stun beam that it uses, which is basically the missiles got moved over to the extensions, so that'll just go along with the nukes there. It has floating contact mines, because those are representing the sort of weird drill missiles it uses. And then the The Scylla on the back represents the stun beam, which is mostly for overheats. Presumably the thing can overclock itself if it's fighting something else. And then lastly we have Ripplot, aka the Sahelanthropus from 5. Oh man, this thing was stupid. So yeah, this is the one that inexplicably came before most of the other ones on the list. And well, actually no, it came before the Rex and the Ray, and then was allegedly somehow evolved from Shagohod and Peace Walker, whatever. Let's just say he really wanted to put a friggin' Gundam in there. Kojima had too many drinks that day, and they were talking about canning him for really stupid reasons, so whatever. So yeah, friggin' giant Gundam thing. So it technically has 2 Gatling guns, which I just replaced with the Sylphs because the Gatling cannons would be way too much. Its missile, or large missile in this case, got replaced with the kind of MIRV launcher. It actually uses sort of a MIRV launcher type of thing, so seemed a bit more fitting. We have the these scatter missiles over here for its scatter missile thing. It has blades on it, which got represented by just a hanger blade over there. Doesn't really use them that often. It's kind of got an arm blade kind of thing going on. And then lastly, the railgun thing got just replaced with an orc. Close enough. Now, the way that we're going to do this, I have a wheel decide set up here, and we're just basically going to do best 2 out of 3. Kind of flipping for who fights who, and then just eliminate them as they go along. Alright, so first up we have the Rex, and he is fighting the Sahelanthropus. Okay, cool. Let's see this happen. Burger! Burger! I'm sure I'm not the only one that grew up watching Metal Gear Awesome 50 billion times. There we go, it's going to start walking. I tried setting some of them to never fly or strafe, but they still do it sometimes anyway. They just simply don't give a crap. Now, a couple of them were intentionally given tracking problems. So, for example, the Rex here, he constantly had visual problems, especially once his radar got blown off. So, however, you're tracking somebody right at your feet with a radar, but whatever. So it's been given tracking issues. The Sahu here also had tracking issues, though not as much. Allegedly, according to the wiki anyway, it had some sort of pods that flew around and, were there to detect people. I think it's easier to say that this thing was just blind as a frickin' bat. If you might get the sense that I am not a huge fan of the Sahelanthropus, you are very correct, because this thing was stupid as hell. Oh man. Okay, he just got a pod hit. In case you weren't aware, if you end up hitting with the weapon pod, it's basically a situation where it functions as a large rocket, and it gets all of the damage from all the accumulated missiles and whatever else inside. It's pretty gross. Alright, I think this one might be going to the Saho. Just because of that really lucky hit there. I just noticed that I completely forgot to turn the sound back on. Actually, speaking of, now it's doing that horrible music in the background. No, make it stop, make it stop! There we go. Much better. It's nice to have literally anything but the main music going. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the bass music for this game, other than a few of the maps, but I think that's mostly just because, compared to the other ones, it wasn't too fantastic. But besides, I want to hear my alert music in the background anyway. Alright, so first one went to the Saho, but he never got hit by the cannon. That's kind of the big thing with the Ray here. He's got to hit with that cannon. And, yeah, they're janky, you know. As someone else I know was discovering recently, you know, this game's just more fun when you just keep around your janky builds. And that's something that I'm sure, I'm pretty sure Azur's mentioned at a couple points too. It's just, you put together fun builds, you know. If you go specifically for stuff that's gonna win, you're always gonna wind up with like a short collection of the exact same thing. So, alright, looks like the Rex is, well, in need of using his can't just pop your... Do it! Do it! Ah, no! Finish him! Yes! Yes! There we go. Good job. Yeah, so why turning off their brain makes them use their guns, I don't know. It feels like there's some sort of political commentary in there. Whatever. Alright, let's see who goes on. Should I preemptively delete the Saho from the list? And by the way, since I'm basically going and overriding previous teams, this one's going to stick around for a hot minute. So if you want to see one of these go and fight something else, you know, just let me friggin' know and I'll make it happen. You know, or if you have tips to improve one of them, you know, maybe I overlooked something and there's something that could look better or more canon, I guess. I don't know. Something like that. You know, let me know. Always looking to improve some of these things to be more fitting to their actual thing. But yeah, so this is the only time, I think, in the series where I've gotten an AC that actually consistently uses its back guns. So, to that end, I'm actually gonna go and remake Phoenix, or Ernst, rather, in the Phoenix, and make him use his friggin' grenade cannon. Because now I don't understand what the hell the attack and defense scores do. I thought defense helped with what it does. But no. At least the attack score doesn't. Alright, so. Got Saho taken off the list. Alright, let's see who's next. Good, we got the stupid one out early. Thank you, incredibly laggy wheel. Alright, we once again have the Rex. What are you fighting? Okay, we got the Rex against the Shagohod now, apparently. Accidentally turning into a Mortal Kombat tournament. Let's have our tournament! It's one guy against everyone, because that's how tournaments work. To be fair, with infinite energy or whatever else, infinite stamina, whatever you want to call it, that kind of tournament would make more sense, but let's face it, the usual tournament setup is half luck, half skill, so... And actually, no. 1/3 luck, 1/3 skill, and then 1/3 not taking a break and eating spicy food before going into a friggin' fight. Or for that matter, spending 2 weeks completely bedridden and sick and then trying to go to a tournament. Which I did once. It was a very stupid choice. Kind of funny because I ended up losing like, I think like 15-20 pounds or whatever over the course of a couple weeks of just basically vomiting constantly. And, well, had a tournament coming up. Whoa. Okay, well that was pretty one-sided. Seems like all the old crap is winning. Oh yeah, so to finish the story there, yeah. Ended up just being sick as all hell. Finally, you know, just wake up that morning feeling slightly better. I'm like, screw it, you know what? Toughed it out through other stuff, we'll see how this goes. And then I noticed pretty much right away that I have no grasp of my own body weight at that point. Because you'd think it wouldn't be much, but when you're used to like moving around and then you suddenly lose a bunch of weight and you haven't moved around for a while and then you wake up, It's like, wow, I am definitely not like balanced as I was before. Like right off the bat, I just like get friggin' kicked in the air right on my back. It was nuts. Up, walk, run. What are you doing? What are you doing? Break out the cannon, come on, break out the cannon. Stop just eating this stuff. Yeah, if the music is any indication, I really want this thing to win. No, come on. No! So close. Oh my god! Holy crap. Oh man. That was awesome! I'm so glad I made this decision. Okay, final round. Man, that was something. Like, well, I'm gonna take the hit, but I'm taking you with me. Man, I've never... You know what? Somebody told me that reverse legs kneel down faster. I forget who told me that. But it was... Hell, I think actually Azure was the one that told me that. Like, really early on. There was some build or something that had used reverse joint legs with a cannon. And I think it was meant to be, like, as a joke or not supposed to work or something. Or was it reverses that kneel? No. I'm thinking, the AC3 kneeling run. That's what I'm thinking. That one had somebody mentioning that certain legs end up kneeling faster. Which also might have been Azure. I don't know. Seems like a lot of my advice comes from that guy. Thanks, Azure, for all the advice. So there you go. So, that is the Shagogon. Now we've only got the cool ones left. Now let's see who's fighting between the cool kids. Alright, so we've got the Peace Walker. Looks like it's fighting the Ray. Alright. And if you're unfamiliar with it for one reason or another and also happen to be watching this, the music is actually the alert music. It's just called Encounter from Metal Gear Solid. This is basically the music that played every time you got found out. So you'd basically run around getting purposely found out in your stealth game because it's like, man, this music's awesome. Actually, come to think of it, I should get the extended boss music going. There we go. Extended boss theme. Yes. I seriously would just pause boss fights just to friggin' rock out to those as a kid. Nice. Well, it almost dodged it. Dang. That flamethrower really clinched it. Find me better boss music, for real. Just the best. There's just so much going on at one time. You got your callback to your alert themes, you got your callback to your intensity themes earlier. Like a couple different parts to the piece in general. Still pretty good. What's his name that did all these, was it Gregson Williams? Was it? I don't know. I think it was. That sounds right. Oh crap, this thing's getting roasted. You know, that's the first time I saw that something's actually getting stunned by a flamethrower. I think it might have just been the rockets flying through. Huh. You know what, let me take a look at that replay real quick, because I want to see what he was firing at the time. I mean, one way or another, Ray is eliminated now. Yeah, let's look at this from Peace Walker's side. Yeah, he's using his rockets and flamethrower together. Or I guess she's using rockets and flamethrower together. And it seems like that's enough to stun. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, that's what it is. It's the rockets going through the flames. Man, that is something to keep in mind for the future. That mess is deadly. Ooh. Freaking barbecued. Alright, well, last two. Come on, Rex. Really hope Rex wins this. Freaking the nostalgic original and best. And yes, I know there were like at least 2 games prior, arguably another one because of other shenanigans, but still. This is the one that I grew up with, dang it. As far as I'm concerned, it's the original. Speaking of, in case you ever wanted to relive the craziness that was all the Matrix stunts, well, friggin' remake of the original, not even the original, really. Remake of MGS1, or yeah, MGS1. With some pretty crazy Matrix crap going on. Not really sure why they decided to give him superpowers, but whatever. I mean, technically speaking, right here is exactly what should be happening. Because, well, let's face it, the Peace Walker is by far the best armed. But it's surprisingly close, actually. And that should be... well, it's only 2 of the large missiles gone, surprisingly. So she might still pull out a win here. I say might as if she was in any danger of losing. I don't know what, I think he must have run out of both missiles and machine guns. But still, a scatter mine would have done it. So there we go, we got one of them. We got 1 to the Walker, none to the Rex. Let's see what happens. And at least we know what the bottom 3 are looking like. We got the probably the Ray and third, probably Saho dead last. Shago, no, actually no. Shago's third. Ray is 4th. Friggin' Saho's last. Just screw that thing. And I have a feeling the Peace Walker's gonna win this one. Unless he manages to pull out some sweetness with that cannon. Something that Cal and I were discussing the other day, he was mentioning, you know, basically turning up all of the situational or terrain awareness rather than the situational, and then basically turning off this other stuff, which inexplicably made them better at dodging, which also definitely seems to be the case. They're doing a lot more, although they don't seem to be able to figure out flamethrowers exactly. All right, Rex, what are you doing? Well, that's a bummer. So there we go. First place Peace Walker, second place Rex, third place Shago, fourth place Ray, and then fifth is the Saho. There you go. If you ever wondered, you know, More or less, anyway. Because obviously they can just sort of make up friggin' specifications